Good evening. Lesson 12 tonight. Divide two-digit numbers by one-digit numbers by using an area model. All right, we're getting into area models tonight, guys. Fun stuff ahead. All right, we're going to start with something basic, 24 divided by 2. Now, most of you can just look at that and know what the quotient will be, but just a good way to start small to build up to harder ones when we get into the hundreds tonight. And we're going to start with the basics to show you how to make an area model with division. So we're going to start with 2, all right? So now what's going to happen is that we're going to divide by 2 out here. And what are we going to multiply up here to get what we want, the quotient, the numbers that we're breaking it up into. This is going to be 20. And the number in the small box in the area model is going to be 4. So now we have to say 2 goes into 20. So 2 times what is going to give me 20? Well, it gives us 10. 2 goes into 4. How many times? It goes in twice. So these right up here are our there are quotients, and we have to add up our quotients, and we're going to get 12. 12 is our quotient. All right, next one. Okay, the next area model we're going to work on tonight is we're going to divide by 5, and we have 60 as our dividend. We're going to break up that 60 so 5 can go into it. So how many 10s are in that 60 that can go divide by 5? Well, 50. So I'm going to put a 50 in here. And when we subtract 50 from 60, we're left over with a 10. And the 5 can go into both of these dividends. So 5 goes into 50 10 times. 5 can go into 10 2 times. We add up our two quotients to get 12. Okay, I'm going to show you 4 different ways on how to divide this basic fact. 48 divided by 6 equals 8 is a basic fact. As you know, 6 times 8 is 48. 6 and 8 went on a date and sat at table 48, right? All right, so we're going to practice this on showing different ways to divide. Okay, we have how many units of 6 are in 48? So we want to try to see how much we can get close. 6 times what will bring me close to 48? Well, we can say 5 times 6 is equal to 30. And then when we say 48 take away 30 will give us 18. All right, and then we say, well, 6 times what gives us 18? Well, 6 times 3 is equal to 18. 30 plus 18 is 48. So how many units of 6 are in there? Well, it's 8. The next one is 48 divided by 6, the same thing. But just like we've been doing in the past, the previous lessons, we can take this and use the break apart method. And we can pull out, because remember, what 6 has to go into it evenly. So what goes into it evenly? Well, it goes into 30. If I pull out 3 10s, and when I pull out 3 10s, how much are we left with on the other side? We're left with 18. Now we can divide by 6 into 30, we get 5. Divide 6 into 18, we get 3. 5 plus 3 is 8. Get a quotient of 8. The next one to divide is we get a break apart, again, 48 divided by 6. So we break up 48. And this one we're going to actually say we can break it up into evenly. 24 here and a 24 here, because 24 plus 24 is 48. And 6 can go into 24, because if we do 24 divided by 6, we get a 4. And on the side, if we get 24 divided by 6, we get 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. And our last way to divide tonight is going to be using the area model. The number that we're dividing by is 6. So we have to say what are we going to multiply on the top to get these numbers? We have to make sure they go in evenly. So if we know that 48, we want to get as close as we can. If we multiply by 6, we can get there, and we're going to say by 30. So 6 times what will give us 30? And that would be 5, because that is close that we can get to 48. Then what's left over, 48 take away 30, is 18. And we say 6 times what? It gives us 18, we know is 3. We add up these two numbers, and we get 8. Okay, the next example I'm going to show you is just ways of leading up to those long division problems that we're going to be challenging ourselves eventually in this unit. We can start off by saying 6 divided by 3 is a basic fact, and we know that it is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Now, if we continue on, we can say, well, if 3 goes into 6 2 times, then 3 is going to go into 60. Well, 3 goes into 6 2 times, and then we have the 0, so 20. So 20 times 3 is 60. The same thing we can do here. We can say 60 divided by 3 is 20, and we're left over with the 9, so we say 9 divided by 3 is 3. We add it up, and we get 23. In this next one, we have 126. It's our dividend divided by our divisor of 3. And if I take the 126 and I break this up, because I know I'm going to be dividing by 3. So I'm going to look at that 3 going into this 12. It's not really a 12, right? It's 120. So I need to say to myself, 3 times what gives us just 12, and that's a 4. So if it's 120, we can say 3 times 40. So let's pull out the 120. And if I subtract 120 from 126, we're left with 6 on this side. Both of these numbers are divisible by 3. We divide by 3. So let's continue. So 3 goes into 120. So 120 divided by 3, 3 is 40. Then on this side, 6 divided by 3 is 2. So 40 plus 2 is 42. So the quotient of 126 divided by 3 is 42. 56 divided by 4. If we make a number bond, I'm going to take 56, okay, and we're dividing it by 4. So we want to say 4 has to go into that 5. But that's not a 5, that's a 50. So 4 can go into 50. As close as we can get would be 4 tenths, so that would be a 40. Now 56 minus 40 would be 16. So now if we keep dividing by 4, 40 divided by 4 is 10. And then if we do 16 divided by 4 is 4. So 4 plus 10 is equal to the quotient of 14. Now if we show an area model of this, okay, and we break this up. So if you want to say how close can we get to 50 if we do 56 divided by 4, well, we could put a 40 in here, and 40 minus 56 is 16, and we know we're dividing by 4. So what numbers are we going to multiply on top? Well, 4 goes into 40 10 times, 4 goes into 16 4 times, and we add up these quotients on the top to get 14. Okay, our next one, 138 divided by 6. So we know that we're dividing by 6. We just don't know what the numbers are in here. 6 goes into 13. Well, no, but it can go into 12. But that's not really a 12. That would be 120. 120 take away 138 would leave me with 18. So now we're saying to ourselves, 6 times what is going to give me 120? Well, we know 6 goes into 12 2 times, and then bring the 0. 6 times what gives me 18, and that would be 3. So here's our quotients, 20 plus 3, and we get 23. Next one, 159 divided by 3. Well, we know that we're going to be dividing by 3. We just don't know what the numbers are on the top. So we want to make sure that we get as close as we can to this number. And we know that 3 can go into 15, but that's not a 15, that's 150. But we do know that 3 can go into 15 5 times, but it's 150, so it's going to be different. So we're going to put 150 here, because that's what that represents. 15 tens, because that 5's in the tens place. And when we subtract 150 from 159, we're left with 9. So now we have to say, is 3 times what gives me 150? Well, 3 goes into 15 5 times, and bring your 0. 3 times what gives us 9? 3. There's our two quotients. 50 plus 3 gives us 53. Why was 6 afraid of 7? In order to find out this math riddle, solve the next 2 problems. Ha 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 ha. 168 divided by 4. Bring in your area models tomorrow so you level up. Your last one before the riddle. 168 divided by 7. Bring in those area models tomorrow so we can level up. Why was 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. Good night.